morning, everyone.
Good morning.
This morning I'd like to direct our contemplation to the idea God never compromises. Ernest Holmes says, in demonstrating over conditions, the only inquiries we need to make of ourselves are, do the things we want express a more abundant life, rob no one, create no delusion, and express a greater degree of livingness? If we are able to answer these questions affirmatively, then all the power in the universe is back of our program. If it is money, houses, automobiles, lamps, stocks, bonds, dresses, shirts, or shoestrings, all forms of divine abundance, and all of which come from the same source, there can be nothing, either in the law or in the spirit back of the law, to deny us the right to the greatest expression of life. He goes on to say, the words which you speak would be just as powerful as the words which Jesus spoke, if you knew without a shadow of a doubt that your word was and is the law always whereunto it is sent. That infinite mind is the actor, and you are the announcer. So knowing absolutely, unconditionally, and unequivocally is the key here. Knowing the absolute certainty that all there is God, good, expressing. Knowing that we live in a dynamic energy field of instantaneously responsive substance, divine substance. This week, I became aware more intensely of the power of absolute decision, faith, and commitment. I have been working on a particular vision regarding the restoration of my home and have needed certain extraordinary, unusual amounts of money for materials. I have had certain, absolute qualifications in my mind, the persons to do the work, specifically to do the work. And it was all in my mind as an idea and in my feelings as a commitment that I was not going to stand back from. And sometimes I needed this on the spot. And having at the moment no visible source or avenue, yet all I have needed has continued to manifest instantaneously. So the revelation has come to me that when I decide absolutely to create the vision I have in mind, without compromising in terms of quality, specific materials, such as, I want real marble, I don't want fake marble, I want the real thing, or compromising in terms of creating the effect that I desire. When I made that decision, it's like all the universe rallied to come around to supply me with the increased good I had named and claimed. The power back of my absolute steadfastness in mind established a definite through line to God and divine supply. The power of my absolute commitment to fulfillment now activated the supply that was already there and has brought it forth for my immediate use and fulfillment in the greatest ways, and not one good thing has been denied me. So all week I observed the law operating. I've had this vision before. It's laying dormant in my mind, but in the past, instead of grabbing hold and identifying with it and absolutely committing to it, I have myself postponed or delayed it by saying, when I have enough money, I'll do this. When I have enough time, I'll do it. Or diminishing the enactment of the complete vision by saying, well, I can do this part now, and later I can do this, and maybe I'll compromise here, and going back and forth. But now I realize that the law indeed knows no compromise. There is no law of compromise, and there is no need to compromise anywhere for anything. For the law is all in all, having and being all right here and right now. And we are one with the allness. So I ask myself, when this tendency to want to compromise comes up, I ask myself, for whom am I compromising? What am I compromising for when all is available? And if I notice myself beginning to diminish or cramp my vision in any way or slightly delaying it in the future, I remind myself that there is no need to compromise. I have a direct line with the infinite. I can command that which I require, and that which already is there for me comes forth. Another point of recognition is that I realized again and more deeply that my desires and visions and all of ours are in fact those divine inner cues emanating from the deepest God center within, knocking at the doors of our conscious awareness, wanting to come forth and to demonstrate God's greater measure of good in and through us. So when I feel now that inner pressure, instead of denying or delaying or blocking, I let it through. I widen the aperture of my consciousness and my acceptance to include the expanded concepts of good. That my consciousness becomes all-inclusive of every good that I am requiring now and that exists for me right here and right now. So do your defined thing. Do the thing that you're propelled to do, and everything falls in place. Accept that which you desire now, rather than putting up obstacles of time, delay, and compromise. There is no longer any need to compromise your fulfillment. For that which is created by God, and that's you, lives in the presence of all good and supply, and is sustained by that very same presence operating as money or whatever you require. So let us each one now take a moment to look within and view the greater good which up until now we may have relegated to the realm of wishing, hoping, or longing for. Let us now close the mental waterways of separation by extending the parameters of our deepest acceptance to absolutely include this good of God in our lives. Let us incorporate the full materialization of the totality of spirit here, in consciousness, embracing our good in mind. And let us say to ourselves, I am committed to the totality of good here and to being an ever-available and accepting channel of manifestation of this glory of spirit that I am. I now allow the expanded manifestation of good to come forth without compromise, recognizing all forms of supply as God love, being, and radiant activity in my life. I flow on the through line of infinite supply and manifestation, obtaining my full and uncompromised good at every point. I am that which empowers my good to manifest now. My rich fulfillment comes into being not by my efforts, but because my good is already all created already, and by the very nature of complete God being that I am. And so it is.